So Mama Nicole says the last text she got from Gabby was on the 30th of August. And she says this text message is really weird.
The last text message I received from her phone was on the 30th of August. And it said, can you call Stan, which is her grandfather, who she would refer to as Grandpa normally.
Very odd to see. And
I have no service. I'm in Yosemite.
Nicole says Stan was her grandfather. She called her grandfather Grandpa.
You know what I call my grandmother?
What?
Annie. She didn't want to be called... Well, no, my mom's mom, when she was alive, she didn't want to be called Grandma because that made her feel old. So I grew up calling her Annie. Everyone calls her Annie.
Oh, that's funny.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but not the case with Gabby Petito.
Not the point, me. Sorry, moving on.
No, but the point is it's a weird text because then she says, like, I'd call him myself, but I have no service. I'm in Yosemite.
And they're like, wait a second. She's not supposed to be in Yosemite. She's supposed to be in Yellowstone. And it's not a small detour. They're hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
Totally out of her way, too. Not even on the right trail.
And I think the idea is down the road that, like, maybe she didn't send this text. Maybe this came from Brian. We never really get back to it.
Yeah, I don't think she sent that text.
No, I mean, clearly not.
No. And also, Brian, like, he's just such a dirtbag in every sense. Like, can you just say Grandpa?
I know.
Who in their right mind just says, like, I guess she calls her grandfather by his real name.
So Papa Joe is saying, like, this is when we started to worry. We're, like, putting it together that, like, something is not right here.
And then when her mom called me up and said, hey, listen, I haven't heard from her, in a few days. And that's when we started making phone calls.
I kept texting. I would text every day, thinking I got to get a response at some point. And that's when I started getting worried.
And so they're starting to panic. So Nicole, her mother, texts Brian's mother and says, have you heard from the kids? Assuming that they, of course, are both together. Like, obviously, you wouldn't ask it any other way,
And
right?
Nicole feels the need to point that out. She's like, I wasn't just asking about Gabby. I was like, have you heard from the kids? Because Nicole's point is, my assumption is if something bad happened, they were hiking and they fell and got hurt, or they got lost. They don't know where they are. Like, she's thinking they're together, and if something bad happened, it happened to both of them.
And the reason she's stressing this is because Brian's mother ignores her and doesn't answer.
Can we talk about the laundries and what a bunch of fucking assholes they are?
I hate all of them.
Oh my
I hate them all. But so what Nicole is trying to stress is, like, I'm basically telling her that her son is missing too.
Yes.
And she's not reacting or responding to that.
Right.
And that's alarming.
And that's also sending off red flags. Like, if she's got the mom's number in her phone, it means they've had a text relationship in the past.
They're gonna get married.
Right.
Like, of course. Seriously.
No,
like,
it's true.
Gabby isn't writing postcards to Brian's nephews without the parents being aware at
100%,
least, right?
yeah.
So here's a timeline that's gonna blow your mind, right?
Yes.
July 2nd, Brian and Gabby start their trip from Long Island. August 24th is Gabby's last call to her dad, the last time they hear her voice. The 25th, her last Instagram post from Gabby's account. August 30th, the last text from Gabby's phone asking about Stan, her grandfather.
Yeah, get ready, pull over.
Pull over.
Pull over.
September 1st, Brian Laundrie's back in Florida without Gabby.
With Gabby's van, no Gabby.
So here's a little bit of math.
Yeah.
They were in Yosemite, right?
Yes.
They were supposed to be in Yellowstone. Yosemite, which is in California, to Northport, Florida, is, according to Google Maps, like 43 hours. It's a 43-hour drive.
Yeah.
From August 30th to September 1st, it's 48 hours. Brian just fucking drove.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I never even thought about that. So Brian gets back to Florida without Gabby.
Brian did not inform Gabby's parents that he had gone back to Florida. If they had a fight, if she had met somebody else and had gone her own way, why wouldn't he just call and tell her parents about it?
We started making phone calls
That was...
to his parents, and no one called back. Not a text, not a voicemail, not a missed call.
Something wasn't right.
Like, we weren't getting anything back.
The Laundries are just ignoring them.
Right. So finally, Nicole says on the 11th of September, she walked into a local precinct and was like, my fucking daughter's missing.
Yeah, and by the way, I've been trying to get in touch with this family since late August. Like, please help me.
Now, we know that Brian is back without Gabby. Gabby's parents don't know that. So when they go into the precinct on the 11th, within hours of them walking in and saying that, they come back to Gabby's family saying, Brian's back and Gabby's not with him. They did not know that.
And Brian's been back since September 1st for 10 days. Now, I remember when this story was first, because this was actually like unfolding before
in real time.
Our very eyes.
Yes.
I remember getting super suspicious, being like, why wasn't she reported missing for 10 whole days?
Right.
This is why.
This is why.
The family had no idea.
Yeah.
Ugh. Disgusting.
Nicole is now sobbing.
Yeah.
And she says,
When I knew the van was in Florida, I knew that my daughter was gone. I didn't know how, but I just knew. And I didn't tell anyone else that because I had to do what I had to do. I had to report her missing. And I had to get her pictures out there. And we had to find her.
and she's like, I kept it to myself. I didn't say anything to anybody because I knew we had work to do. She's saying, without saying, I knew this was a mission to recover her body.
Right. So on September 11th, she's officially reported missing. They learn that Brian's been home since September 1st.
Yeah.
By September 13th, there's a press conference saying that they're looking for Gabby. It's so heartbreaking, begging her to come home. Meanwhile, Brian is acting like it's fucking 1960s suburbia, like it's Leave It to Beaver or the Donna Reed show. He's out mowing his lawn.
Mowing his lawn. And I want to say that, like, one of the reporters asks Gabby's mom, if you have anything to say to Gabby, like, what do you want to say? The implication is that Gabby's out there, she's run off or whatever.
Yeah.
And Nicole has just told us she knows in her heart Gabby's dead. So when she gets that question from the reporter and she breaks into fucking sobs, we know what she's thinking.
I know.
Which is like, this is all pointless. This is all futile.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Also, in addition to mowing his lawn, he's never done that a fucking day in his life until now.
No, never ever.
Then he goes on a camping trip with his family using Gabby's van.
And like the family is taking pictures and sharing it on social media. Like they're out camping with their fucking dirtbag son.
Your fiance is missing. Your future daughter-in-law is missing. What are you doing?